All right, so our plan for today is to chase after lake trout, but we're doing something a little bit different. I think the common, mentality or common, just what people think is that early season like this, lake trout are all deep. And yes, there are so many lake trout that are extremely deep, like 100, 150 feet, right? That's kind of like the common mentality. But today we're going to do something a little bit different and target some shallower water lake trout. Again, the water temps are very cold, 37, 38 degrees, but we're going to chase some shallower fish here today. And we're going to use some technology, use LiveScope to locate these fish. And there's really a time and a place for LiveScope, and I would say that this is certainly one of them, right? You drive over these fish with your boat, they're gone. They're 300 yards away by the time they'd stop, kind of like a deer in the woods. You bust a deer, that deer's running. Fish do the exact same thing, and you've never really been able to see that until LiveScopes come out. But that's what we need to do. We need to stay back, stay away from these fish, and make long casts up to them and get them to chase, right? So traditional sonar, you have your beam going in the back of your boat looking kind of straight down. That means your boat's right on top of those fish. They spook, they're gone, right? So with LiveScope, you can see 50, 100 feet out around from us, see where these fish are, and make long casts to them and get them to chase, work them back to the boat, and hopefully they eat. So that's our plan of attack for today. Lightweight gear. So this actually is one of my St Croix walleye rods. This is the rip and wrap rod from St Croix, 7-to-1 medium. So we're combining that with 20-pound braid down to a 17-pound fluorocarbon leader. And then staying with that walleye style approach, this is a Northland 1-ounce jig with an eye candy plastic. Again, extremely lightweight. It's all about lightweight, staying as shallow as we can today. Sure, we may dip off into 100 feet every now and then, but a lot of our fishing, we're gonna try to focus on the shallowest water that we can in whatever area we're in, right? 50, 40, 60, trying to stay shallow, right? Kind of breaking that mentality that all lake trout are deep when water is really cold. So the water's cold right now, and there's fish shallow. So I'm excited to see what today has to bring. We have calm seas right now, so wind is supposed to pick up here in a couple hours, but who knows? You never know what you're going to run into and what you're going to experience out here. But shallower water, springtime, lightweight lake trout. Let's get after it. Fish on. Fish on. He hit right next to the boat. Right next to the boat. Oh man, that's a strong fish. That's a strong fish, baby. There's no stopping this thing. Listen to that reel go. This fish is going right to bottom. That Northland jig just has him pegged. Whew. That gets your heart going right away in the morning. How big did you look, you think?
Probably 15 pounds, 15, 20. Nice fish start the day.
Yeah, decent head shakes. He followed it right to the boat.
Yeah, he was about 10 feet down. And
that's a way to start the morning. And that is our plan for today, is to cast that Lake Superior lake trout. And when we say cast, in the past, it's been a lot of more vertical jigging, where today we're just gonna, use some technology and, locate these fish and cast at them and get them to chase. Use spinning gear, Northland jigs and plastics, and hopefully catch a bunch of awesome lake trout today. So yeah, it's not a bad one.
It's looking like good fish.
Yeah, that is a good fish.
Yeah, that's a big fish.
Man alive. Look at him go right down the bottom. See ya. Might need to throw some water on this reel. It's gonna start smoking. That fish has power, man. That fish has power. The excitement of a Lake Superior lake trout, especially on lightweight spinning gear, casting for him, is pretty remarkable.
Might have a while for this one.
I keep getting him up, and he keeps going back down, man. It's a heavy fish. Spunky fish, man. Yeah. Has that Northland jig just choked.
There we go.
That's a gorgeous lake trout. Gorgeous lake trout. Wow. Nice fish. Nice fish. Yeah, 30, 37, 38 probably all day. Get them in the boat, take a quick pick, and send them back. All right, all aboard. Yeah, that's a big fish, man. Hoofed. That's a really big fish. Nice lean trout. Wow. Yeah, look at that, baby. Hoofed. That's a heavy fish. Heavy, heavy fish.
Northland jig is gone.
Right, look at that Northland bait is just like, see ya later.
There we
That's
go.
so cool. And when we say lightweight, like that's my medium power walleye rod, a Northland jig in plastic, and a big old Lake Superior lake trout. That's a thick fish. Look at its tail, man. Its tail's all beat up.
Chewed up.
Yeah, that's a heavy, heavy fish. Wow, what a start to the morning. Let's get this fish back and see what else today has in store for us. All right, big old girl. She's ready to go. Look at that. Wow. That fish was dang near 20 pounds of just straight muscle. Like a big, more like a redfin or a lean lake trout, where, you know, contrasted to those Ciscoettes that have those huge bellies on them, like those leans and those redfins are just pure muscle. So much strength, but that's kind of what we're targeting today, is a little bit shallower fish. Casting, they're gonna be higher in the water column. That's a workout, my heart's going. But that's pretty magical on just a 1 ounce Northland jig and an eye candy plastic, right? Pretty much the same setup I'd use if I was walleye fishing, but we're catching 20-pound trout. Pretty awesome, man. Wow, let's catch another one. Got him, fish.
All right, well, we got a fish on.
I think that's a big one, buddy. That looked like a big fish.
A little bit of technical difficulties, but
Those are good head shakes.
yeah.
Those are good head shakes. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That fish did not hesitate.
Casting plastics in shallow water and getting some nice fish. I think it's gonna be a little smaller than yours.
Or maybe it doesn't even know it's hooked yet. I don't know. There it is.
Nice, pretty one. Very nice fish. Really big fins, big red fin.
Wow, look at that fish, dude. That's gorgeous. That's a really pretty one. Where the heck did he go? Very pretty fish. Wow. That's what we like to see, man.
Nice big red fin.
That fish is
Take
still
that any
green.
day.
It's still green. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous lake trout, man. Wow. Shallow water. I think that's the coolest part about this is everyone's perception early season like this is that trout are so deep, 120, 150, 200 feet, when in reality they're not, right? I mean, yeah, there's fish everywhere, like everywhere. You just have to be pretty technical in your approach when they're shallow like this, which we are doing today, to not spook these fish and make long casts to them and reel them, get them to chase, and they'll come. I mean, that's another awesome fish, man. Wow.
Got that Northland jig right in the nose. Beautiful colors on it.
Gorgeous fish, man. Look at that. I mean, just doesn't even look real.
Awesome colors.
These Northland jigs right in that. Man, you stuck him good. Big, strong hooks on these baits. Awesome fish. That's just a pretty, pretty lake trout, man.
Alrighty.
Let's get her back.
That net and let her on go. There we go. Oh, that might have been too far left. Yeah, reel it in, re-pitch. Straight ahead now, dead ahead, 70 feet.
That one ain't good, man. I haven't even barely reeled them. Like, that's how shallow these fish are. I mean, in this spot right now, they're shallow total depth of water, but then you get them to chase and they're eating this, 20, 30 feet below the boat. We'll jump around to various spots throughout the day and, maybe fish a little deeper at times and a little shallower at times, but you know, overall, we're just gonna stay as shallow as we can in the specific spot that we're in. There's no stopping these things. Even like a 10, 15 pounder, man, they just fight so hard. You can see that green Northland jig right in the tip of its nose.
Right
eh?
in the beak.
Right in the beak. That's a spunky fish. A very spunky fish. That's a nice lean lake trout there, man. Look at that. That's a cool fish. There we go. There we go. Nice trout. Nice trout. Still not even that small. Look at that. There we go. Gorgeous. Nice lean Lake Superior lake trout. That's a lean if I've ever seen one. Wow. So much power. Right, you see those Siskoets that we catch too, their bellies are just so big and they have shorter noses and skinnier tails. Like these fish are just stocky, longer snout on them, you know, just completely different looking trout. Awesome. Very nice fish. Let's catch another one. Down she goes.
Another fish hooked up here. Might be a pretty nice one. It's getting a little bigger.
He heard you call him small.
Same thing, casting up shallow, and that one was, we would have been paying attention. You probably could have seen that one on the surface by the time it ate.
That's a big fish.
Yeah, it's a nice, pretty one. Another red fin. Kind of the butterfly fins on them. Come on, calm down. Calm down.
I got him, Ethan. Coming in, net him.
I can grab him. He's got that jig inhaled. Jig's right in the corner there.
Look at those pecks.
Big old fins on her.
So this one ate like 10, 15 feet under the surface.
It was right on the surface when she ate it.
Man, Northland MVP jig and eye candy plastic. Big lake trout. This is the way to do it, man. Wow. That's cool. That's a different fish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let her go.
I love those vermiculations, the designs on its eyes, its back, its fins. What a fish. Let's get that one back and catch another one. All right, so as you can kind of see here, this is a structure that we're fishing. Again, very, very shallow, 50, 55, 60 feet. And off in front of us, it drops down to 120, but these fish are up here on this break. And again, if you're trolling, you're not gonna catch these fish because again, this water is extremely clear early season like this. It's so cold, it's so quiet today, right? There's no wind, no clouds. No waves, so these fish are extremely spooky. So you troll over these fish, they're gonna know you're there, they're gonna spook off, right? That's just why jigging is so effective on this big shallow flats like this. Casting and, you know, seeing these fish with LiveScope, seeing them out away from the boat and, you know, making long casts to them. So it's crazy what this technology teaches you and how spooky these fish actually are. So yeah, it's just kind of the contours that we're fishing here, just kind of moving the boat around, going back and forth on these contours until we pick up the fish on sonar and then making casts to them. So we'll keep at it.
Oh my gosh, is this a massive fish. Holy crap, look at that thing. He's just been staying at like 10 feet below the boat. He won't come up. Unreal. Right at the surface. Back down again. Literally got to put 2 hands on this rod because this thing's so heavy. There he is. Holy. That's a monster. Oh my gosh. Whew. That is a sweet fish.
Pull it right in here.
Right? Oh man,
It's the beauty of a fish.
it really is. Jeez, I can't get in there. There we go. Oh my gosh.
That'll be close to 40 or over 40.
I think so. Jesus, he's strong.
That one ate a big plastic right off bottom.
Oh my
Sucked
gosh,
it
dude.
in on the fall.
What a fish. Let's get this big girl back. Holy. Like a submarine to the bottom.
All right, we got another fish here.
That's a good one, buddy.
It's a pretty one.
That's a very pretty fish. Wow. They have so much power. It's like they're so full of energy still because they're in shallow water, and we get them to chase halfway to the boat, right? And they hit like right next to the boat.
That one there, we bumped up to a little bigger plastic. Try and get
Yeah, you did put
closer
on
to
that-
that herring size.
That 4.5-inch eye candy from Northland. That's another great fish. Take a look at her here. Wow, that's a pretty fish. Pretty
Jig
fish.
fell out. There we go. Another beauty fish. Came on a little bigger plastic. Northland Jig M plastic. Yeah, beauty fish.
All right, so this is what we're using here is the MVP jig from Northland Tackle. New sizes, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce. You know, ideally designed for like walleyes, heavy current situations, but you know, the trout fishermen in us, perfect trout bait. And then we have the eye candy plastics. Again, the exact same baits I'd be using if I was walleye fishing in very heavy current situations, but it's perfect for casting out here on Lake Superior for trout. So we're just going to tie this jig directly to our 17-pound fluorocarbon leader. 17 pounds. It's a good strength. If you look into a really big fish, it can definitely handle it. So 10-12 pound test I think is a little light, especially with casting 1 ounce baits. You're going to fatigue that line throughout the course of the day. So 17 works good. We just tie that on there. My dentist would not approve of biting that line with your teeth, but then we just thread our eye candy plastics on here. So in terms of colors, silvers, purples, whites, I don't think it probably matters too much. These fish are, if they're going to eat, I feel like they're going to eat kind of anything. So this is the new 4-inch size here. So we're just going to thread this on. And with these eye candies, again, these are very, very elastic, right? You can stretch these things. They're not going to break. They can be a little bit harder to put on a jig head, but essentially what you want to do is get it on there, kind of pull that down and pull it up at the same time, just like that. Kind of stretch that plastic, pull it up so you can get over that hook keeper on these jigs, and then it gets right up to the butt of that jig, just like that. That is a recipe for a big trout.
Oh, there we go. Bingo, big ones. Okay, they're
Where you at?
right here, 80 feet.
We'll see how that goes. Now I kind of make the cast, and then we can, if we turn the sonar right, sometimes we can see that jig fall through the water column and see how that
Keep
fish
falling.
interacts with it. Using the sonar just really opens your eyes to how many fish are out here and how many fish are actually negative, right? Like how many fish don't want to eat. It's perplexing.
Kind of 120 feet. Yeah.
It's just like you'd never guess there was like this many fish in most areas that we use the sonar. But it's just also just crazy how many fish don't eat, how many fish you get your baits out of, in front of and don't do a thing.
All right, so we just had Grant cast out at the school of fish here. Right up here, we got the jig coming down. So we'll watch his jig here and we'll see the fish reacting to it here in about a second once we get a little deeper.
Oh, you whacked it.
Okay, reeling, here he comes.
Got him.
There you go.
Easy as that. It's nice to have one guy look at the graph and kind of drive and tell the other guy what's going on. A little bit smaller one, that'd be a good eater. There are so many fish down there right now. We just took a little break to chase some. Oh, you want to talk about a jig that is inhaled. Look at this. Come here, buddy. That's a nice, lean, lake trout there, but that is a Northland jig that's destroyed. Like that fish, gone. Incredible. A 1 ounce Northland jig with a eye candy plastic. That fish is biting my thumb. I'm gonna have to get pliers for this one, but gone. But that's what it's all about, just seeing these fish, audio electronics, watching that jig fall through the water column, seeing how those fish react to it. It's actually nice to catch one that size. Maybe keep him for dinner. He's bleeding pretty bad, but that just shows you how ferocious these lake trout are when they see that Northland jig and that plastic going above them. They just whack it. So much fun. There you go, buddy. There you go.
Got another decent one.
Yeah, that's not a bad fish at all. Very nice fish. That one followed you for a while. Yeah, that's a nice trout. Big trout. Jeepers. Come here, buddy.
There we go.
That thing is still green. Oh, that's a big trout. Wow, what a trout. Solid fish, huh? Chunky,
Yeah.
stocky.
Nice pretty colors.
Such fun on lightweight gear. Shallow water, I mean, it's totally breaking that stigma that all your fish are deep early season like this, because, right, they're not 40, 50, 60 feet. You just gotta have a stealth approach, get that big girl back, and that's what can be had, right? I mean, just lightweight gear, just emphasis on, you know, staying as lightweight as possible. Pretty much walleye rods, walleye jigs, big trout.
Fight them as hard as you can and get them back.
That's a fun one. That fight time's not too long when it's such shallow water. They chase you right to the boat, right? And we're fighting these fish for, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds,
Yeah.
a minute. It's nice, it's cool. They all release well.
Yeah.
Not too hard on them. Fish on. Fish on. Those head shakes feel a little bit bigger. Oh, I can already see
Got a
him way
couple.
out there.
Had a couple following them too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, oh dude, there's a huge one with him. Oh my gosh. Dude, Ethan, look at
Still
those
there?
fish.
He's still there.
They're right here.
Oh, yep, yep.
They're right there. Look at that thing. There's a bigger one with it too. Look at him. Look at that.
Come on, turn around, turn around. Oh, just not gonna
Dude,
do it.
This is so magical. It is so magical. Wow, words can't explain it. Just to be blessed with a day that is so calm like this, like not a breath of wind, sunny
Nice.
skies. You know, if you just had some clouds, you wouldn't see that.
You want me to scoop that one?
Yeah, it's a netter. Pretty
Might
fish.
be a eel pout. It might be a herring in its mouth.
Yeah, there is. Oh, that's a cool fish, buddy. Wow.
Big old herring in there.
Big herring in its mouth. Look at that. That's special. Yep, burping. That's a special fish right there. Look at that big herring tail in its throat, along with that Northland jig. That's a pretty fish. That's probably my favorite one of the day. Big peck fins. I love those, just that white contrast with the red. That's a gorgeous fish.
Awesome fish.
Big herring in its throat. It truly doesn't get any better. It truly doesn't. Like, it's like you died and went to heaven, right? All right, let's get this pretty girl back down so she can continue to digest her herring. Oh, look at that. That is so magical. So magical.
And we got
Are you
another
hooked
fish
up?
hooked up.
The madness doesn't stop, buddy. The madness doesn't stop. The lake is coming alive.
Let
How's it
one
feel?
go and hook another one up.
Right. I mean, it's just nuts. And the
Ooh,
best,
big one right there.
my
Following
line's
it.
tangled. Is there really?
See him there?
Yeah.
Ooh, another one right there.
My
Look at that
line's
one.
tangled.
Should be able to see that one.
Oh yeah, look at them down there, just like sharks, man.
So cool.
It is so cool to see. There you go. Boat flipping them in.
There we go. Another beautiful, nice eater-sized trout. Going on back.
You know what also is cool to note is like there's 42 inchers mixed in with like these 20 inchers, right? Like they're all grouped together, which is kind of the fascinating part. So it's truly like you don't know what that next fish is going to be. If it's going to be a giant or be a, you know, a 20-inch lean that you're going to take home and put on the grill. You never know, but it's just every single fish we're catching right now has a bunch of fish trailing it. That's just wild. Nice work, buddy.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part is that last fish just came in. I mean, you can see bottom clear as day, right? 15, 20 feet of water. It's like the more we push shallow, like the better fishing is. It just goes beyond your total belief and just kind of your mentality and what you have confidence in, right? But you just trust your sonar and just use these tools.
There's another one out here.
Another one out here.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you can totally see it clear as day. But if we motor across this, you'd be able to see these fish spooking by the boat. That's how shallow they are. So Lake Superior always keeps you on your toes. There's always new stuff to explore and experience out here. Springtime, shallow lake trout. It's wild. I mean, started off the day in 60, 70, 80. Like now we're in 15, 20.
Real.
It just doesn't stop. Doesn't stop.
He's coming after you. He's gonna crush it.
Got him. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. That one hurt my wrist, man. Oh, this is madness. I can see bottom clear as day. And we're catching lake trout, like every cast.
Another beauty fish.
It is. And that jig is just gone. Like I can't even see that jig at all.
So cool.
Look at that. Like you can just see him right in the rocks. Before this technology existed, right? It's just like you come up here and check these areas, but you spook the fish and you just assume there's nothing there. You don't know exactly where to cast. But with this technology now, you can see them from a distance. You know where to cast. And it just proves that there's so many fish up shallow. Super cold water. It's another good one, man.
Nice fish.
They're all nice when you're catching them on 7-foot St Croix walleye rods.
Fish. It's way bigger than I thought it was.
There we go. Look at that trout. Man, you just can't stop them. Like there's just nothing you can do. There's just nothing you can do when this fish wants to go down. Shapers.
There we go.
That's a battle. My arm is toasted. That's a big fish. That's another. It's like that one Josh just caught.
Fish.
Right? Like back to back, just true. Just studs. Like these are all just big.
Jig is inhaled.
Right? Hey, big girl.
Lamprey wound. That's a fresh lamprey wound.
Yeah. Right. Oh man, the strength and power these fish have. But look at that Northland jig, eye candy plastic. Oh wow. It's like identical to the one Josh just caught up here in 10, 15 feet of water. It's just insane. What a day. What a day, what a memory, what a bite we're discovering here on Lake Superior. Josh, Ethan, and I, incredible. You got it?
Yep.
Fish on, fish on. Madness, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. From this morning, calm seas, even some skim ice, to now with that wind just bucking, these fish are continuing to eat for us.
Nice fish.
Oh, that's a big one, Ethan. That's a good one. Holy cow, dude. I can't net that thing. Oh my gosh, dude, buddy.
There we go. That's a good way to finish the day.
That's unreal. Finish the day with another solid 15, 20 pound fish, right? I mean, just the sheer numbers of these that we've seen throughout the day is mind blowing. Just shallow, shallow, shallow. 35, 36, 37 degree water. It's just, it's fun to explore, do new things, use some technology to, you know, help educate yourself, right? I would have never guessed there's this many fish this shallow, this early in the year, but, you know, Lake Superior is always ready to surprise you and throw you curveballs. Look at this big, oh my goodness, dude. Oh, that's a giant. That's a giant. Look at that fish, buddy. Wow. Another solid.
That one's,
Man, these girth.
look at that one. That's got a broken back.
It's got like a humpback on it, hey? I've seen that in walleyes, but not trout.
Yeah, that's kind of a goofy trout.
That's cool, that's cool. Wow.
Yeah, you can see it kind of has a curve to it.
Unreal. What a day, what a fish from Ethan, Josh, and I. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.